Gotta get me a theme song like you.
Yeah, gotta get used to that. And the things that we see. Let's talk about us. 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 Welcome,
Okay.
welcome, everyone. This is another amazing Monday, and you are live with me, your fabulous host, Kim Sue, on the Aesthetic Culture Show. And I'm so excited to be here on this Monday. And you could have chosen to be anywhere, but here you are. So I'm excited to have you. And today we have a fabulous guest. And let me tell you guys, this is going to be another chock full conversation. You know how we do in the Aesthetic Culture Show. So go ahead, let your community know that you are live with Kim Sue on the Aesthetic Culture Show, and it is Monday, darling. So welcome, welcome, welcome to my lovely guest, Sister Tonyah. And if you guys don't know, you're going to learn today. So thank you so much, Tonyah, for being with us and for coming through and sharing yourself with the aesthetic culture community.
No, thank you. And you're welcome. Not only are you fantastic and live and everything with your song, you're so cute. Look at you, you're so cute.
Thank you. You know, when we're coming to the aesthetic culture, I try to aesthetically get it together.
Well, you got it together, let me tell you.
Yes. And I like to do, because you're over there with your braids, and I've been speaking all month about protective styling for the winter. So I love that you brought in a nice representation of how to rest your scalp. So yes.
Yeah. During this pandemic that nobody likes to, talk about, I had to find different ways of taking care of myself, and the protective styling is one way that I just chose, to go with during this time.
And it's perfect. It's great preservation for your strands. And of course, your scalp gets a nice rest. So it works.
Yeah. Well,
and I like it on you.
Oh, thank you very much.
So we do something exciting at the top of the show. Every Monday, we do something where we ask our guests to please introduce yourself, introduce how to follow you, how they can correspond with you, and also how they can patronize you. So that way we can get into the meat of the subject later. So we do all of this good stuff up front. So please go ahead and let our community know how they can find you and get into your details.
Okay, well, I'm affectionately called Sister Tonyah, and so I'm Sister Tonyah with an H at the end on everything, on YouTube, on Instagram. That's mostly the way that I like to be reached. And I am sistertonyah.com. Excuse me, www.sistertonyah.com. And you can see everything about what I do and how I do it and everything. And you can contact me and ask me questions. I like to be reached at letters to sistertonyah@gmail.com. I know that's long, but if you send me a letter at letters to your sistertonyah@gmail.com, I'll help Kim Sue. She spelled it wrong. Or we can put it in the letters to your Sister Tonyah, right? And then sistertonyah@gmail.com, and then sistertonyah@gmail.com. So I'll help you with this.
Okay. So I put an A instead of an O. I just saw it. Tonyah.
Yeah.
Yes. So okay. We'll correct it. We'll correct it.
So Sister Tonyah on YouTube, www.sistertonyah.com as my website, and then letters to sistertonyah@gmail.com is for getting in touch with me. If you want to write me a letter, I answer the letters anonymously on my YouTube channel using the Akashic Records. So I'm an Akashic Records reader, and that's primarily what I'm doing these days. And the Akashic Records help you to figure out who you are, why you're here, what your gifts are and how you can use those gifts to create abundance. So then I then help you and work with you with spiritual coaching, because it's a very spiritual process to find out at soul level who you are and why you were invented, what gifts were attached to you when that process took place. Because there are a lot of things that happen for people in their regular life that are going on, but they're going on at a very, very deep spiritual level, or the issues that they have that are repetitive, or seem to be cyclical or have patterns. They have a very, very deep spiritual root. But we could get into that at another time, or you could always call me and I could answer a lot of questions about that. Because today I really wanted to speak about the artist
Wait,
way.
hold on before you get there. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me get you into the flow of the show first before you start rambling off all the stuff you do. Let's get into the groove of the show. So now that we're speaking about what you do for a living, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about how long you've been in your industry.
Which industry are you speaking about?
Your coaching industry, where you use the Akashic Records.
So I decided to say yes to the Akashic Records after a long period of a 3.5-year training. So I trained for 3.5 years, and then I said yes to it last January. But I've been a coach on every level, a super mega coach that's coaching the coaches, so to
Yes.
speak,
Yeah.
for a long time, probably since 2012 or something like that. So,
wow.
Yeah. And so as a coach in general, let's take away the spiritual coaching part. Just coaching in general, one of my gifts is a super ear. So I'm able to hear and listen to what's there, what the person may not be sharing that needs to be shared, and all of that. I was speaking to one of my coaches this week, and he said, we have the gift of hearing the person before they even came and rang the bell.
Ooh, that's good.
Hearing the person and hearing what their needs are before they even walked up the stairs. So that's the type of super listening that I'm saying I've always been able to use in my coaching.
Now that's amazing. That tool is used in coaching, right? So I say to my clients all the time, "Oh, I dreamt your style before I got here. Like I saw you with it on your head, and I just knew that's what you was gonna ask me for." And I'll tell you, every time it's a hit, it's the listening for. And listening intentionally. For a long time, I don't think people thought about listening intentionally. I know not myself, because I was listening while I was speaking to myself. So that's not intentional listening. I wasn't, over there with you digging what you're saying,
Right.
So I understand what you're saying about the super duper fine tuning of the ear, so you could actually get into the silent spaces where words aren't happening.
Yeah. And what I notice happens to me is that I'm not listening. The listening is happening, but I'm not there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's a whole nother, what you're talking about is completely valid, and that's one layer of it. Now peel that layer off and go to the next level with it, to where you're not intentionally doing anything. It's happening.
It's a isness.
It's a being. Like you said, the isness. That's perfect. I couldn't have thought of a better word, the isness.
It's the isness.
You're not bringing yourself to the party at all.
You are the party. Y'all know I'm always the party. Anyway, so now that we know what you do, would you say that your industry has expanded? Like there are different dimensions now in your industry. There's so many facets that people can pull from if they wanted to get in. It's not just one way in.
Help me understand that question.
So every industry has an ability to expand. And it takes creatives to say, hey, there's another piece that we didn't touch. Hey, there's another piece that we didn't touch. Do you see that in your industry?
No. I feel like what's happening is that I don't have an industry. It's not an industry. It's ancient work. So what happened is I've been a part of this ancient work and on every level and through every modality for my entire life, right? So I've only said yes to the Akashic Records for the last 3.5, 4 years. But I've been involved with spirituality and different aspects of revealing hidden information for probably about 30 years.
And why did you choose to go so deep with spiritual learning?
I didn't have a choice. So
Say more about that.
It's a calling. And if it's not your calling, it's not your work. And if it is your work and it is your calling, you can't hide. You can't run because it will corner you and you will not have a choice. Right? So literally that's what happened to me, because you know, for those who don't know me, I'm usually behind the camera, not like
right.
And I don't like being in front of the camera. It's not my thing, right? So, but for my whole life, you know, I was like Kim Sue. I was a hairstylist. So when, you know, I guess the universe decided it was not time for me to do that anymore, and it took me away. But it put me somewhere with the spirituality work. But I didn't realize I was doing that all the time with my customers anyway, but I didn't view it as anything to be doing because it was just always there and it was always happening by itself.
And I feel like that you were in ministry. You were doing ministry, but not calling it anything. You were just doing what naturally felt good. And I don't know if we get to the next step where we can say yes to it, because we get into a flow of it and we treat it so like this is just who I am, but it's really a service that we should probably harness in, you know, and get more into. So how do you know to get more into it if you don't know that, hey, this is what I'm doing? I'm actually serving through spirituality. I'm actually giving people encouragement while I'm serving. So how do you know to get it to the next level now?
And thank you for saying that. And thank you for bringing that question. It's perfect. One of the things that happens is that when you are a vessel for information, right, they don't skip you. You'll never be without instructions and without a guide also. That's just how this works. So, you know, when they always say, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear, right? So it's the same thing. If you go to the 7th grade, you already, when you start seeing that the work is too easy for you and there's nothing, you know, for you to learn there, all the lessons have been absorbed, you already know the 8th grade is next. So it kind of works in the same fashion, and you're never without the information you need. You're never without the set of instructions on the how-to. It comes.
Wow. Okay. And you're saying once you know the teacher that is going to facilitate that next move shows up as well, because you're ready.
Yeah. Once you are ready to make that move, the universe will support you 150% in getting there. That's just my experience. And then when I have spoken to other people who do the same work or any type of spiritual work, they all concur.
Wow.
Yeah.
I concur.
Yeah.
Because it never happens before. It's just not the way it's designed. It's designed for when you start discovering all the information presents itself like, I've been waiting on you. I've been waiting on you.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And you know what you were asking about before, right? This is ancient work. So it's not an industry or it's nothing new. What's new is that we coming out and speaking about it on social media. We didn't have social media before. So people just found you, people who you were responsible for, the universe delivered them to your door. And that's just kind of how it went. And that's how it is.
Yes.
So even if we never came on social media to say one thing about it, it would still be going on.
Correct.
And, even me, when I had an Akashic record reading for myself over 15 years ago over the phone with a lady from Wyoming. And because that's how my work happens too. It happens over the phone. So,
right.
Yeah, like you literally don't have to be with me for me to do everything. And then I call you back and I'm done my work. And then I tell you everything. And it takes about 2 hours for us to be together. We record it, you know, and I send it to you in your email, stuff like that.
Okay.
So, and back then they had CDs. So the lady was recording it and then she put it on the CD and she sent it to me in the mail. And so we didn't have PayPal and Cash App and all of that. So she read me, and then I had to mail her $375 afterwards. And then she mailed me the CD. So
now, when you say mail, please let these folks know we talking money orders, boo.
yeah. In fact, somebody sent me a money order today in my P.O. box. It was a lady I was consulting. I just was talking to her to help her to be comfortable. She had a death that she really couldn't get past. And then she sent me a photo of a letter that she mailed me. And I had to go to the post office and get it and cash the money order at the cash.
Money orders is still money, people. Money orders. And I know most folks is like, what is a money order? Google it.
Or you said, what is mail, right?
What is mail? What is USPS? What's a stamp?
So the lady, what she said to me, when she said that, wow, she said, you are ancient. You have been a part of every people and every corner of the world. She
Wow.
said, what's interesting about you is that in every life you have ever had, you've been the same thing. You've been a shaman. You've been a medicine woman. You've been a healer. You've been a midwife. You've been an herbalist. She said, that's all that you are.
Wow.
And yeah. So,
Mother Earth.
this work has been going on, and it's been happening. And we die and come back and do our same work, and we fall into it. Even if we think we're going to escape it. This time I come back, I'm going to be a hairdresser. Yeah.
Still come back because it's still you. It's still innately you. It's still spiritually who you be.
Right.
I love it. I love it. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. So, Tonyah, tell us, who are some of your inspirations these days?
In terms of what?
In terms of lifestyle, in terms of just how you would like to dwell on this earth. Are you inspired by anyone, by any movement, by anything you've seen? Are you inspired?
I'm going to say something at the risk of sounding like I'm not honoring anybody, but I'm willing to take that chance. So, of course, our whole lives as young people developing ourselves and putting ourselves together, we're going to have people. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So once you get to a certain level, then you're the people. And then people looking at you in that regard.
Okay.
So now that I've been studying my whole life, because I started this journey at 19 years old, I'm over 50.
Lies.com.
Yeah. Whatever. Thank you. That's how we do it's the Brooklyn way, right? So now that I'm over 50 and I've gotten everything there was to get in terms of information and know-how and all that, and I have lived a long time implementing it and creating my own existence from the information, right, that I've studied.
Yes.
I didn't get to study my whole life and not live by anything I'm studying or put it to good use. So because I now even have experience of years and years of living, right, I can say that I'm finally the people.
So you're
I'm
so
my own people.
down, you are your own inspiration.
Pretty much, which I didn't realize that I was like that my whole life in the first place. Super motivator. I never had needed to be motivated. I never needed to be inspired. I was always out in the forefront, pulling others forward and inspiring others and motivating others. So it's been my way, but I didn't really pay attention to that until recently, Yeah, but I'm in love with all of the greats. Queen Afua, Mantu, like you name it, right? They've influenced me and I've been with them. And so I'm the collection of all of our great women who have done the work I do and who have been conscious and super vegan. I'm the product of all of them and their information and their teaching and all of that.
The embodiment of everything you learn. So you said something that I want to talk on because I'm always celebrating the doers. I'm inspired by doers because I've been in the seat where now I know what it takes to do. Now I know who you have to be to do. So I'm inspired by all of the people that make that choice. They are my inspiration. And I want to say, you mentioned all of the people that did before you, so you can do, that said, we're going to do the work. Because even though maybe our close family, maybe our children don't take it, someone will take it and they will do. So are you saying that this is where you are now? Now your leadership, you are the ancestor now. So that way others can see and do. Are you putting yourself out for that reason?
Yeah, because I didn't get to take all that information and not do. And so because I've been doing for more than 30 years already, I don't have a need. I don't feel there's nothing missing, anything missing. So I don't have a need to look over there to see what I need to do. I don't have that. So now anybody can come to me to find out what they should do and how they should do in the way that they should do, because I'm able to give them that.
Oh, okay,
if
good.
I didn't know what I was doing, I wouldn't be able to help nobody else.
Listen, people, that's not a joke. I know we're smiling about it because we know people who don't know what they do and they serving. That's why Tonyah and I could smile. But I just want you guys to know it's important to our community, to the longevity of who we are as a people, that you know what you're doing. It's very, very important to us because we have so many people that don't know and they're still out serving, and it takes away from us. It takes away from who we can be because you didn't do your due diligence. So please, please, people, the reason we're bringing the dopeness to the forefront on the Aesthetic Culture Show is so you guys can see all of these things and ways that you would like to be are available. And I'm bringing the folks that's doing the do. Y'all got to get down with the folks that's doing the do, especially since Tonyah just said she's available for you guys to come to the well. Like, are you serious right now?
Two things just came to me, and you got to let me say them because I'm old now. If you keep talking, you're going to go somewhere else.
Go ahead.
So, two things came to share. When you asked me about what to do or to know what to do, right?
Yeah.
I realized that when people come to me and they're speaking to me and they need instructions on what they should do, even when they come, and both of us don't know in the moment what they should do, once we want to know that, the instructions on what to do for them at that time will be in the space.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. And the other thing that came to me right before I got on this call was, because I'm new to social media and I still don't really like it, right? I'm seeing that because I come up with never-ending content and things to talk about and things to inspire people. I notice people coming to my page to take my content and use it for themselves. So when you asking me who is influencing me, and I'm telling you I'm the influencer, it's been going on that everybody trying to steal my content.
Oh man, welcome to social media, sis.
If you ain't got nothing good going on, they ain't gonna come to your page to steal. One girl came to my page to try to steal my whole stilo and created a whole channel and then invited me. You want to come to my channel to see me do what you said you was gonna be doing?
Yes. Welcome to social media. I'm currently being plagiarized by so many people that my attorney says, she said, it's content you already released. It's public content. She said, and so we can't go around suing. There's so much of my work that people just took off and was like, I'm just going to do the whole thing. And, you know, I did not think of it as me being the influencer until you just said it. But now I could sit with that. Because at first I was like, yo, why is this happening? Why are they doing it? You know, but now, since they're coming for it.
Because they out there looking for somebody to follow or looking for somebody to emulate or whatever. They're looking for somebody to tell them what to do.
Yeah.
I don't look for nobody to tell me what to do. I invent what I should be doing. And I'm listening for the divine giving me instructions on what to do. So if somebody's following me, a lot of times they're following my instructions that I got
Yes.
from the divine. It doesn't
Yes.
belong to them. But
Yes.
they'll find out.
Oh, they will, because you can't take someone's content and they not realize like it's just not designed that way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
You have to pay the piper, man. Got to pay the piper.
You know. So
And how has business been for you during this season from March to now?
well, I have to tell you, I when I was getting my feet wet to I wanted to try different ways that I could do this work because I had
Yeah.
never said yes to it like this before. And it was right before all this happened.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey.
So what I discovered before this happened, I got a message to go to a specific event and set up a table.
Right.
So when I went there was everybody like me with different gifts. And I was so excited. I got super excited. I saw a lady there that she puts your eye. You know, when you go to the eye doctor and they put your chin in that thing and they look in your eye, she looks in your eye and she tells you everything about your ancestors. She said, and if it happened to your ancestors, it will happen to you. Like
Wow.
literally, like if you run out of money every March, it's because every March your ancestors had an issue with money. Like just down to the littlest thing. She's amazing. She's amazing. She sends you a video with a clicker, click it all over your eye, right? So, but it's just different people that I started to see that had different gifts, and I was excited to be in my element. So when I set my table up and everything, they opened the doors at like 11 a.m. and my table was so full all day that I didn't realize when they closed the doors at 6 p.m. that I had never gotten up. I never drank water. I never ate food or anything. So when I got to the ladies' room to check, you know, wash my hands and get myself together, there was another lady in there. And I greeted the lady and I said, "How did you do today? Did you have a great day?" And the lady was angry. She said, she had a wrinkled up eyebrow. She said, "No." She said, "You was here and everybody was at your table all day. That's why all the rest of us didn't make no money." That was my face right there when she said that to me.
I mean, how could you know? You were busy doing.
My head was down all day and my daughter was with me, and there was always literally 4 people at my table at one time. One person with my daughter in the chair and one person looking over their shoulder to see what my daughter's saying to them. One person in my chair and one person looking over the shoulder to see what I'm saying. And then the people told me that there was always some circling going on with other people waiting to see when they was
Oh,
going to get
waiting,
out of there.
buzzing, buzzing.
So they
Wow.
were coming. And so then after that happened, I was invited a few more different places around, and the same every time I open that table and set it up, the same exact thing happens. And I, you know, one lady, she invited me to the city where I live. There's a city, I live in the suburbs, so she said, "Come to the city and set up." And then when I finished, she said, "You didn't get up all day. I've been watching you." She said, "But what's interesting is that you were in the back." She said, "I come here all the time. Nobody ever comes to the back. Your table was so crowded." She said, "And you had all the brothers. What brothers go and sit at a table with somebody pouring their guts out, telling their business?" She
Yeah.
said, "I sold so much product because everybody came from your table feeling good and they had to pass me to leave. So they stopped with me and shop." She said, "So are you coming tomorrow? Because I need you to come tomorrow so that I can make some money." You know, she said, "But you, every time I watch you set up this table, I don't care where I see you set this table up at, it's always the same thing." So hopefully that answered your question.
Yes. Yes, it did.
And you know what I'm going to tell you? I didn't know anything about what to do with this, right? Like in the public, right? Because it's always been a secret. It's always been hidden. You don't talk about this. And for a long time, I was dealing with all these secrets, and I didn't even have another psychic person or a spiritual person to talk about it with because I didn't know anybody like that.
Yeah.
So that's why when I came to all those different people, I said, "Oh my God, all my friends, my psychic friends," if you, for lack of a better term. But
Yes, yes.
anyway, So when I was at the table one time, right? This guy, he came and he got a little simple information reading from me. And when he said something to me about a specific town that he was from, I said, "Oh, I went to that town." He said, "What were you doing going there?" And he said, "Because nobody really goes there." I said, "Well, my daughter was taking an etiquette training and I was taking her there." So he said, "Oh, I know what lady you're talking about." He named the lady. So it was so funny that when I called the lady to tell her that I had met him and he said hello, the lady said, "How do you know him?" And I said, "Well, he came to my table." Before that guy came to my table, whenever I was going to visit that lady, because she was a super 80-year-old church lady,
Yeah.
she said to me, "Well, I don't know what you're going to be doing with that table because nobody down here in the South is going to come to your table." She said, "This is the Bible Belt and nobody going to speak to you about that." So it was so funny when I called her to say, "Your friend from your church came to my table and he said to tell you hi." I felt the eye roll that she was doing on the other end of the telephone.
If looks could kill, baby. If looks could kill.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes, because most folks, I think, separate spirituality and religion, right? Which is good because you don't need to be religious to be spiritual,
right,
and not all religious people are spiritual.
right, right.
So it's great to have that distinction anyway. And sometimes I love to see when people are like, "Oh, you're too spiritual for me." I'm
Mm.
like, good,
People have
good, because
said
I
that
know
to
my
you?
people.
People have said that to you?
Yes, yes. Oh, you're too spiritual for me, Kim. So you just want to be deep all the time. I said, well, I'm not really about this shallow living. The experiences are in the depth of life.
Mm.
So you're not my people. I get it. It's okay. It's cool. It's cool.
Yeah. But I
My
feel
tribe know my
everybody,
vibe. My tribe know my vibe.
but I feel like everybody gets to experience exactly what they need to when they need to. It's
I
not
think
like,
so.
yeah, it's not like they have to force anything or, I see a lot of people doing extra, being so extra and doing so much. It's not that serious. Just, it's all about being quiet. That's why meditation is important because you're not bringing yourself. You just being and you just listening and you just, you know, just being.
And you're not in contrast with what is already offered to you.
Absolutely. That's really good.
Sometimes we're just in contrast for, and goodness and mercy is coming.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
we're even in contrast with just that. And that's what we need.
You're 100% correct. You know?
You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
I do want to ask, what age do you do readings for? Do you do children, teenagers?
What I think is beautiful is that when a baby is born to a specific family,
Hmm.
specific time, it's for a specific reason. So when a baby is born after a certain period of time, when there's a settling phase, after the
A what phase?
a settling,
Okay. Okay.
everybody's guides, teachers, and angels have to be put into place when they come here, and it takes a little bit of time when they get
Right.
here in the beginning. So
Right.
once that phase of the angels, guides, and teachers get into place for the person, I can read them.
No
Yes.
matter what age that happens.
No, when you're a baby, it happens. Come out of
Oh.
your mother's womb, and after a few months, it happens.
It's happened. It's done. Settled up.
Yeah.
Everything's
So
easy.
from a couple of months old all the way until after you leave here, even after you leave, if one of your family members wants me to take a look at something, I can see it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now that's really good because that ties in. Now it's so weird. No, not so weird.
Can I
It's so
share something
timely.
else?
Yes, go ahead.
So I'm also trained to read fingerprints and hand markings. Okay. So your fingerprints and your hand is a blueprint and a map for what you're doing here. So I
Mm.
can see pretty much it's like the same information. It's just two different ways to see it. Right. And if you think about the fingerprints, they're formed 5 months before you are born. So you're already who you are and who you're going to be before you're born.
Yep.
So a baby, if I was reading the fingerprints, doing a fingerprints and hand marking reading on a baby, that I could do. You know, that you don't have to wait for, because those fingerprints are formed 5 months before they're going to come out.
So you can get an accurate reading from there.
Yeah. All I need to do is ink. I use ink for that. We ink your hand, you know, like when you're going to
Yeah,
get
yeah.
dressed. When you
Yeah,
get
like when they
ready,
do
you got
even
to
with
go
the foot.
get a central booking. They ink your hand and they put each thumb and
Who
finger.
knows about central book? No, I'm just kidding.
I don't think you could be a member of the city and have grown up living your life to the fullest and not know about central booking. Either you had to be picked up or somebody else needed you to pick them up.
That's correct. Correct. And I'm telling you, all in New York know about central booking, baby. How is your support system, Tonyah? How do you build up your support system? What is that around?
I don't know. I'm currently inventing that as we speak.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm a super lone ranger.
A super Lone Ranger. What is that?
It's like really ridiculous. It's highly extreme. Nobody should be this much of a lone ranger. You know, the people who never need anybody and they do it all by themselves all the time. There's never an exception to that.
Yeah.
Like I was born like that. So I've been that way since I was a kid all the way up to now. And I'm a little bit of a high, how you call it, a super overachiever. I've been that way since I was a kid. So when somebody comes to help me and they're helping me and it's a shabby situation, I say, never mind, forget it. Let me just do it. You know, and so now I'm back where I started with doing it myself. So most of the time I don't even go there to involve another person. But I'm currently in a 12-week intensive that's going to help me to change that. And it's helping me to build a team and all of that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Talk about when the student's ready.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
I was never right because I was never interested in like allowing people to contribute to me. That's the statement. Yeah. I wasn't interested in having people contribute to me, but now I am.
So this is probably how we are friends, right? So one of the biggest complaints about Kim Sue in my community was she won't let people help. Of course, I had to discover that for myself, because folks saying things to you doesn't necessarily mean it is you. You have to discover the pieces of yourself for yourself. And I never thought I was someone that didn't want help, but I never even watched my way of being either, how I would just do it and not wait for folks to help.
Absolutely. You know, absolutely.
Yeah. And now, like you said, the team comes in because expansion's happening. More communication is needed. You're only one person. I'm only one person. You know, so now it's important to work with your group, work with your team, work with those that want to see you grow.
And I recognize that at this time, the planet is in a little bit of trouble. And it's almost like we got to work double time to get everybody in place and put them where they belong. And it seems like we have to be in several places at one time.
Yeah.
So I think that's why the universe is preparing me to have different people being all in this different places at the same time doing the work.
Of course. And also social media will benefit you in being several places all at once.
Oh, thank you.
What I love about the contribution of social media, I'm able to do the show and have everyone around the world see it. It's same as I teach, and I can have everyone around the world join my class. You understand? So technology is now a great access to you, to reaching those that you would have probably had to fly to. You know what I mean? So
right.
now
recently that started happening.
Right.
A lady from Omaha, Nebraska. I got a box in my car right now that she even mailed to me. Oh, there's that word again. I had to go to the post office to get it. She sent me a box. So yeah, you're 100% correct, you know.
Yes, I saw how when I started the Aesthetic Culture Show and I saw where people were tuning in from, I was like, listen, this internet gonna do some magic over here, boy. We're gonna talk some talk. We're gonna bring in all the like minds. We're gonna bring y'all in. And here we are a year later, and everyone that has sat on the seat that has had an opportunity to share their story, share their brand, they've seen a customer response, and that's a big deal because you want to know the community is listening and they're sharing their listening out. Like, hey, this is what I heard. This is what you could do.
Right.
Go patronize over here. Go follow over there. And this is really what I wanted us to have, a culture of sharing each other, sharing our voice, sharing our story. You know what I mean? This is our digital legacy we're building over here. And I'm happy to facilitate the doers in my community, especially since I respect you guys for doing, man. Like, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. And I hold it up here. It's high in my value because I know now what it takes to do. And I also know the other side where you could just sit down and say, I'm done.
Yeah, but then that's when you're charged with training other people to do as you've done.
Correct.
Because at that point, you're really not done. You're just doing on another level. Because that's, that's where I'm at. I was a person who got up 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock in the morning to go work on the set my whole life. Now I'm not doing anything like that. Now it's not time for me to do that. It's time for me to relax and stay home and talk to people on the telephone and set up a table somewhere
and get into what your community needs on an intimate level.
Which brings me to want to say something about this.
Yes, so let's get into, wait, I want to see first. Let me see how much time we have. So let's talk about what is coming up, the dates, and how to register.
So there's no way to register until you come to the orientation because not everyone is welcome to register or not everyone is interested in registering. So
Got it. That's true.
They have to show up to the orientation to sit and listen to see whether or not this is something that they're ready to do at this time. Because I noticed that there's a magic about this course and not everyone's life is ready for it at the same time.
Yes.
So that's why every January is going to start over. So we're going to be doing this from January to December every year.
Okay.
Okay. So there's 12 steps involved. So we're going to do 1 step a month, 12 months. Okay. So a lot of people may be familiar with this. It's a 12-step program in the form of a book. And it's called The Artist's Way. And what the Artist's Way does is it helps you to get in touch with the place in you where your inner artist lives. Because everybody has something that they came to give the world as a gift. But a lot of people never know what that is. Or when they find out what it is, they don't know how to develop it. So this is a way that this is like a training manual to help you to develop that and also to clear that place out. Because the reason why a lot of people may not be in touch with it is because it's cluttered with a lot of things that get put there as we're growing up against the grain. Like we're growing up against who we are, or doing jobs and things and being in lifestyles that are against who we are. And this is the course that brings you back.
And when is the orientation?
November 22nd at 5 p.m. on Zoom. So
you
can get in touch with me during on any of those ways that we left them in order to talk to me, to let me know they want to come, and then I will put them in. I will give them the Zoom code and everything after I spend time with them talking on the phone and listening to them. And that's how we're going to do that. Now,
so they are going to ask more information on letters, right?
Or they can call, most of the time for this, they can just call a number I have set up, 404.
Oh, hold on 1 second. Is it the Artist's Way with an S, the artist?
Yeah.
Or is it apostrophe S?
Mm-hmm.
Apostrophe S, okay.
Mm-hmm. If you want to have a flyer, you can put that. You can share it up if you want. Did I send you a flyer?
No, not yet.
I think, okay. So
if you put it on your page, just tag me in it and I can repost it.
Yeah, that has all the information on it.
All right. So guys, I will repost the flyer. Tanya, can you give me the phone number?
404
404
421
421.
7771.
What a great number.
Thank you. People say that to me all the time. So the thing that I wanted to highlight is that when we are living with gifts that are undeveloped or underdiscovered, we always will see that there's a level of dysfunction that we're forced to live with.
Yes.
And it's spiritual dysfunction. It's at the spiritual level. So, and a lot of it is carried with us. Before that's a whole nother conversation. But I'm able to listen to that and see that, and if that's happening for the person, I can advise. But if you are a painter and you're blocked as a painter and you're not painting, you're going to meet with a level of dysfunction until you start accepting that. Now, I've been a hairdresser all my life. That's an artist. That's a sculptor.
Yes.
Okay. And I was involved with a lot of beadwork and everything like that. That's mixed media.
Mixed
So
media, that's right.
now that I'm not doing that anymore, this artist still has to make its way out. So now that's why I'm doing the artist way for myself, because I know that there's a writer in here. So I'm trying to unblock the writer so that I can get 4 books going, because the books are here. I have them in my mind, but like, what's stopping me from getting up every day to sit at my desk to write? So this artist way is the access to unblocking that writer in you, the painter, the sculptor, the singer, the saxophone player, whatever you are. Some people are singers, and then for some reason, they're doing great. But when they do the artist way, they realize they weren't booking all the gigs they could get. How come
That's
that
right.
person is super famous and I'm only a local person singing in the clubs in my neighborhood? There's a reason for that. And the artist way helps you to get in touch with what it is and to take it out.
Oh, that's awesome.
To free you
That's
from
awesome.
it.
So it's dealing with your challenges, what's blocking you up. It's almost like when they go in and they check the heart artery to see where the plaque is. So the artist way is going to go in. So over the 12 months, you're on this journey to discover yourself. So will it happen before the entire 12 months, or are you saying it makes sense to do the entire 12 months for the discovery?
So each month is a different step. Now, this is designed to be done in 12 weeks.
Oh.
But I'm dragging it out to help y'all. Because I know people always talking about, will I work? Will I this? Will I that? So now we're going to give you a whole month to do 1 chapter and all the assignments instead of 1 week.
Good.
Then we're going to give you a partner to work with so that you don't want to quit, because everybody that does this can't finish it. Usually the first time they quit, they want to quit, they can't finish. But they're alone by themselves trying to read the book. That's why. So if you come to our program and we pair you up with somebody, they're going to be checking on you. You're going to be bouncing things off each other, but you're going to come once a month to the group. And then I'm going to listen to what's happening for you. And I'm going to personally coach you so that you can pass. Because a lot of times people go to chapter 1, they can't make it to chapter 2 because they're triggered and they can't move past what's triggering them, because this is designed to trigger you.
Good.
So some people, they get to number 3 and they can't go past number 3. So now when they come to the group and the call, I can hear where they're stuck and I can coach and they can pass. So
that's dope.
That's why I'm doing it like that, because a lot of people have come to me for coaching, and when the coaching is finished, I send them off with this, and they always come back and they can't finish. But when they tell me where they stopped, I stopped at 7. I couldn't get past 7. Because you telling me you stopped at 7, I already know what happened to you. So that's why I can coach. If you stop at 9, I already know what happened, why you stopped at 9. There's a reason why. So that's what I bring to the group when you come and you stay with us for a whole year.
For the 12 months. Now, do you have links and partnerships so folks can purchase the book? Are you sending them the book? How is it working?
So I bought a 3-pack on Amazon for about $30-something. And so the 3-pack is the book itself, right? And a workbook.
Okay.
And a journal. A morning pages journal, the Artist's Way morning pages journal, because part of this is every morning you wake up, and as soon as you wake up, you start just scribbling everything that's in your head. I don't know what to write. I'm getting up. It's cold in here. Should I have the oatmeal? Like, getting all of that out is part of doing this. But I like to do it in the pages that she set up, because she's got little inspirational stuff, and different things that help you along the way. When you're using that, even if though it's an empty journal for you to write in, there's still stuff.
Oh,
So I
good.
bought this 3-pack on Amazon, which I will share that when the people come to the orientation. If they come in and they're going to be in the group, they don't have to worry about not having all the information they need. I give it out in the call during the Zoom call.
Okay, guys, so don't be in a rush to go out and purchase. Sit with the information, make a phone call. The phone number is there. Send a DM to Sister Tonyah on Instagram. There are unlimited access ways that you can get the information, and sit in. It's 12 months at your pace. Come on. 12 months at your pace, and you're winning. We all want to do this. So come on, join the Artist Way and explore your inner artist. We don't know what you're going to come out as on the other end. We don't know. And like you said, a singer, a painter, a creative, come through.
And not only that, right? Like, if someone is doing this for 1 year and then they start again in January, because we're here as a limitless being. So there's no limit to everything you can uncover about yourself and everything that you can become. So this year you unblocked as a painter. Next year you might unblock as a sculptor. You might keep just up like a flower, opening every year if you want to take it again. Or you might take it this year and then skip a year to do all your work and everything and get your exhibits up. Now you exhibiting your paintings. You might be a photographer now. You all over the place, all over the world now, taking photos. Like, all of that is possible through this, using this course with a coach.
So I am saying to you guys, Tonyah came on specifically to share the Artist Way with you guys and her story. And if you listen to her story, she answered to a calling. So Tonyah, thank you so much for being a yes to your calling and being the influencer there and showing people that it's okay to say yes. It's cool. You are supported. The universe coming through for you. You're not going to just be out here for dolo. You're going to get some support. So that's a big deal, because I think fear plays a big factor when you're getting into your spiritual calling. And so you're a proper example of
fear of the unknown.
Fear of the unknown. Fear of the unknown can be the blocker there. So thank you for being an example of, hey, you can take the leap. You will survive.
Thank you. And you're welcome.
Okay. And listen, folks, please get down with the Artist Way. If you're interested and you need information, please go ahead and hit Sister Tonyah up. It is amazing to have the doers on the platform. You guys know I'm stoked about all the doers in my community, because I want you guys to have so many examples of what it takes. And listen, people aren't telling you, oh, poof, I became. It was never like that. None of the stories that came through, nobody had a poof. Okay. That's why
everything I do, I'm trained properly and I'm certified in. So all of the masters that came before that were charged with getting this information into the right hands for the right purpose, have trained me. And I've been training and learning for over 30 to 35 years.
And are you saying what is sacred is still secret, even though there are pieces that you are bringing to social media? But what is sacred, what is secret is still sacred, still sacred? Okay.
Because I'm going to tell you right now, if I was to talk to you about many things that I see on a regular basis or deal with or have to put into perspective or handle, you probably will faint on the ground.
I probably would. I probably would, because human beings.
Not everybody can handle this kind of work, and everybody is willing to do it properly and responsibly. And that's why.
Let's talk about that real quick, Tonyah.
That's why it's a secret.
How are you clearing out before we have to get off? Can you talk about how you clear yourself?
So there's something that I do that's a clearing for you when you come to me.
Right.
It's 7 pages long.
Whoa.
Yeah. And it's a process like you wouldn't believe. But anyone who knows anything about spirituality, they know that everything you ask for another person, it goes on them, but it also comes on you. So if I show you the stack of people that I already read for, it's probably about this thick. The amount of times that I said that 7-page thing for them, I said it for me.
Okay.
So I said it for me about that many times.
I love it. I love it.
But also the universe, when this is your work, there's no, I'm exhausted, people pulling energy. There's none of that. Because it's your work, you have a built-in filter that nothing stays with you. And nothing can come and be with you that doesn't belong with you, because you have a team of guides, teachers, and angels. What you think they doing there? Be standing around looking cute? They working. So nothing's gonna come. They're gonna throw people out. They're gonna throw stuff out that don't belong there. So people who telling you, oh, I gotta do all of this extra stuff, maybe they're pushing themselves into some work that don't belong to them, and that's why they're having those issues.
Now that's good. That's a good gem you just dropped in the space.
I got a built-in filter system, but plus I'm using words that is not a joke. And they're affecting the person,
real language, right?
But they're affecting me too every time I say it.
Yes, it's like the prophets, when they minister to you, they're ministering to themselves. It's just how it is. It's the law of reciprocity in effect.
If you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, and that's why we, because this is a whole nother conversation, but that's why when you're doing spiritual work, it has to be specific. That's why they say when you speak words, it has to be specific words. You can't just speak it's specific. So so, and you don't need to sit in a bubble tub with bubbles all over the place to get something done. If are you over your house and you all the way in Brooklyn, and I'm going to tell you no lie, I read for my friend one time, and I said, listen, you should have things moving around in your apartment based on what I'm seeing here. And she said, I do. And I said, well, because I saw that, I cleared your whole place for you.
Ooh.
I don't have to go to Brooklyn. I live in Georgia. Whole place clean.
Whole place cleaned up. That's the power of the spirit transcending.
No bubble tub, no sprinkles.
None of that.
No smoke.
None of that. Don't have to turn you upside down. None of that.
And I'm not knocking the people, because there's a place for that in certain religions and all that kind of stuff. But when you move past religion and you come into another place now, it's a whole different thing.
People move past religion. Tonyah, thank you so much. This has been a dope hour, man. And listen, people, catch the replay. You know we're working on our tech stuff to get the replay over to YouTube for you guys. But for right now, if you're catching it on YouTube, please let folks know what dope stuff Sister Tonyah is up to. And this invitation is until, when is orientation? Say one more time.
November 22nd at Mercury o'clock.
Very good. November 22nd.
p.m.
At 5 p.m. Yeah. Make sure you hit Sister Tonyah up. And it has been another fabulous Monday with you guys. And I am your host, Kim Sue. Thank you, Sister Tonyah. I love you guys. I'll see you soon. Mwah! Ciao.